Manuel Luis Quezon, also known by his initial MLQ, was a Filipino statesman, soldier, and politician who served as a first president of the Commonwealth of the Philippines from 1935 until his death in 1944. Quezon was born on August 19, 1878 in Baler in the district of El Principe. His parents were Lucio Quezon y Velez, died in 1898, and Maria Dolores Molina, died in 1893. His father was a maestro, primary grade school teacher from Paco, Manila, and a retired Sargento de Guardia Civil of the Spanish Civil Guardian, while his mother was a maestra from primary grade school teacher in their hometown. His father spoke and taught Spanish as a teacher. According to historian Augusto de Viana and as written in his timeline on the history of Baler, Quezon's father Lucio was a Chinese mestizo who came from the Parian. Although both his parents must have contributed to his education, he received most of his primary education from the public school established by Spanish government in his village. As part of the establishment of the free public education system in the Philippines, as he himself testified during his speech delivered in the House of Representatives of the United States during the discussion of Jones Bill in 1914. He later boarded at the Colegio de San Juan de Letran, where he completed secondary school and graduated with the highest honors. In 1899, Quezon left his study at the University of Santo Tomas to join the independence movement during the Philippine-American War. He was an aide-de-camp to Emilio Aguinaldo. He rose to the rank of major and fought in the Bataan sector. However, after surrendering in 1990, wherein he made his first break in the American press, Quezon returned to the university and passed the bar examination in 1903, achieving 4th place. He worked for a time as a clerk and surveyor, entering government service as a potent fiscal for Mindoro and later Tayabas. He became a municipal councilor of Lucena and was elected governor of Tayabas in 1906 after a hard-fought election. Quezon as resident commissioner. Quezon returned to Manila in 1916 and was elected senator of the 5th Senatorial District. He was later elected Senate President by his peers, serving continuously until 1935, the longest serving in history. The leader of the Nacionalista Party allies Partido Nacionalista Colectivista. In 1935, Quezon won the Philippines' first national presidential election under the banner of the Nacionalista Party. He obtained nearly 68% of the vote against his two main rivals, Emilio Aguinaldo and Gregorio Aglipay. Quezon was inaugurated in November 1935. He is recognized as the second President of the Philippines. However, in January 2008, House Representative Rodolfo Valencia of Oriental Mindoro filed a bill seeking instead to declare General Miguel Malvar as the second Philippine President, having directly succeeded Aguinaldo in 1901. To meet the demands of the newly established government set up and in compliance with provision of the Tyding-Macduffie Act, as well as the requirements of the Constitution, President Quezon, true to his pledge of more government and less politics, initiated a recognition of the government bodies. To this effect, he established the Government Survey Board to the study of extinct institution and in the light of the changed circumstance, make the necessary recommendation. Manuel Quezon was married to Aurora Antonia Aragon, Viuda de Quezon, born in February 19, 1888. Aurora Antonia Quezon was the wife of Philippine President Manuel Luis Quezon and the First Lady of the Philippines from 1935 to 1944. Although she is recognized as the second First Lady of the Philippines, she was actually the first spouse of the Philippine President to be addressed as such, the honorific being unknown in the Philippines prior to Manuel Quezon's presidency. Much beloved by Filipinos, Quezon was known for involvement with humanitarian activities and served as the first chairperson of the Philippine National Red Cross. Talk of post-war Philippines. On the occasion of his first birthday celebration in the United States, Manuel Quezon broadcast a radio message to the Philippine residents in Hawaii, who contributed to the celebration by purchasing 4 million pesos worth of World War II bonds, further showing the Philippines government's cooperation with the war effort. Quezon officially offered the U.S. Army a Philippine Infantry Regiment, which was authorized by the U.S. Department of the War to train in California. He also had the Philippine government acquire Elizardes yacht, which renamed Bataan and Crew by the Philippine officers and sailors, was donated to the United States for use in the war. Early in November 1942, Quezon held conference with President Roosevelt to work out a plan for the creation of a joint commission to study the economic condition of post-war Philippines. 18 months later, the United States Congress would pass an act creating the Philippine Rehabilitation Commission as an outcome of such talk between the two presidents. Manuel Quezon suffered from tuberculosis and spent his last years in hospitals, such as at a Miami Beach Army Hospital in April 1944. That summer, he was at a cure cottage in Saranac Lake, New York. He died on that cottage at 10:05 a.m. on August 1, 1944, less than 3 weeks shy of his 66th birthday. He was initially buried in Arlington National Cemetery. His body was later brought by former Governor General and High Commissioner Frank Murphy on board the USS Princeton and reinterred in Manila at the Manila North Cemetery on 17 July 1946. Quezon's remains were then moved to Quezon City within a miniature copy of Napoleon's tomb at the Quezon Memorial Shrine on August 1, 1979.